They have given us statements of 5 witnesses who among others include Abe Kandiho, who was in charge of CMI, Birungi, who also once was chief of CMI, and also Lieutenant Colonel Twine, who is in charge of special investigations, and the current head of CMI, Major General Otto. There is also a businessman called Barasa. Those are the 5 statements they have given us. In total, they have confirmed that now they have given us all the statements, the witness statements they intended to rely on. So, in a nutshell, they have concluded the disclosure of the evidence they intended to rely on as required under the law. Unfortunately, again, you can see there was a choreography which was made probably by the state in collusion with some other actors, and it featured prominently in the proceedings today. You can all attest to the fact that the judge's mood has totally changed. Initially, he was ballistic, he was belligerent. Along the way, he somehow toned it down, and then he was accommodative to us. But now he has engaged a new gear. He's actually going back to where he started from, to the extent that he has made an order which for intents and purposes one would consider to be irrational, that hearing should commence within 7 days from today. We are not done with the preliminary hearing. We are not done with the process of appointing assessors. We have just received the final batch of the documents the state intends to rely on. We have not even had the opportunity to interact with the Colonel Dr. Besigye and Obedi Lutale to interview them on the evidence that has been given to us. There are voluminous records the state has given to us, including flash discs of visual, audio, all these interactions they intend to bring to court, all this kind of evidence. We have not had the opportunity of discussing it with the Dr. Besigye and Obedi Lutale, but the judge insists that it must be done from 8th and 11th, that we should be on the road proceeding with the hearing by 11th of this month. We try to indicate to him that, you know, this month has got 2 holidays. The period he's talking about has got 2 holidays. 3rd June and also 9th June, which is Heroes Day. He insisted and said, no, his order is more or less cast in stone. He was not ready to shift an inch, to the extent that he had to direct that if we can be permitted to access the prisons and access the suspects there, the accused persons, on holidays, even on weekends, even at night, you can imagine, and you ask, what has changed all of a sudden? The state has always been, they have always been taking their time in prosecuting the matter, filing one application after another. This application alone, which they withdrew, it was filed way back in March, but they have been dilly-dallying, moving at their own pace. Now all of a sudden, things have turned the other way. So we are really taken aback by the conduct of the judge in this matter. It's really baffling to us, and also the manner in which he's now conducting the proceedings. Clearly today he demonstrated that he's assuming the role of the prosecutor. Actually, the Virivumbukas, the Jatikos were laid back. You could see in some cases, he would ask them, do you have anything to say? We leave it to you, my lord. We leave it to you. So it was always the judge now taking on the role of the prosecution. Now we are back to square one. We are back to where we started from, head on with Justice Baguma. It's very, very unfortunate. And today we sought for the matters to be taken to the Constitutional Court because we find ourselves in a situation where justice is not being dispensed. Article 28 is being violated left, right, center, including Article 44, which is the right to a fair hearing, is being jettisoned. And we are saying, no, this cannot happen. Unfortunately, again, he has not given us the ruling. He said he will give it us via ICMIS before close of business today to see if we can proceed on 8th with a preliminary hearing and appointment of the assessors, and then we get the actual presentation of the state witnesses on the 11th of this month. We find that schedule very, very unrealistic, outrageous, untenable, given the fact that Dr. Besigye is incarcerated in Ruzira together with Obed Lutale. It's not easy for us to access them, to even share with them, to discuss, to have a conversation, meaningful conversation with them about this kind of evidence that they are bringing before us. We have mentioned the flash disks, we have mentioned the voluminous files they have given us, the documents, and what all this requires a conducive environment with limited interference from the prison authorities to be able to make sense out of what they are presenting before court. Unfortunately, the judge was not ready to accord us adequate time as dictated by Article 28. We are going back to the drawing board. We have had a discussion with our clients. We are going back to the drawing board to explore other options of ensuring that justice is done. One thing we have to assure Justice Baguma and the state, we are not just going to escort Dr. Besigye to the gallows, to the guillotine. No way. We are not ready, because it would appear all is set now for Baguma to conduct a snap hearing, a kind of marathon hearing, so that Dr. Besigye is convicted at the earliest. It would appear all is set for Justice Baguma to conduct a marathon hearing, to have Dr. Besigye expeditiously or hurriedly, not even hurriedly tried and convicted, and then is executed. We're not going to allow that to happen. Earlier on, we had filed a multiplicity of applications for bail. Unfortunately, they were all thrown out on flimsy grounds. Of course, I don't want to repeat that, but you know the grounds they cited to decline admitting Dr. Besigye and Obed Lutale to bail. We were not sustainable at all. But now, we said, okay, we shall not give up. Let's engage another lever, and then we file another one. So we have filed one today. A couple of weeks ago, we filed a fresh bail application. And since then, we have been pushing for it to be fixed for hearing. Unfortunately, Baguma is reluctant to have it fixed for hearing. We have reminded him time and again. Even today, we had the occasion to remind him and say, please, there is a pending bail application. Kindly give us a date. We don't mind whichever date you give us, but at least give us a hearing date. Without assigning any reason, he walked out of the chambers. He walked out of court, and he has not fixed it. Even the other time, it was the same story. So we wonder why he's tilting the scales of balance in favor of the state. When the state files the application, it's fixed very fast. When we come up with ours, he sits on it. Even the one they withdrew regarding protection of witnesses, it is Baguma himself who fixed it and directed his own clerk to serve it on us. But now this one of the bail application, he is reluctant to have it fixed. So you can see selective administration of justice